Hello guys, si Kailangang sa ulit ito at welcome sa episode 18 ng laro tayo ng Disco Elysium. So teka, bago natin i-continue, as usual, check ko lang si OBS kung nagre-record siya maayos. So teka. Okay, so ito, nagre-record siya maayos. So continue. So load natin yung game natin. Nung huling episode, sinimulan na nating i-autopsy yung bangkay nung nung nando sa yung nakabitin. So, ngayon, tuloy natin yung autopsy natin ng bangkay. So, teka. Save ko muna ulit. Para may backup. Okay, so. Saan yung bangkay? Goodness little. Okay. Tuloy na natin yung autopsy. Teka. May mga nakuha na ba tayong items? Teka. Okay, wala pa. Photos of the tools. Kailangan tanong kay yan. Dun sa kay Measurehead. Teka. Tuloy natin yung pag-investigate ng bangkay.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
External examination summary. Tell me something dead. Tell me something dead, man. External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear level.
See, it's happening.
At pasaway.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
Wait.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Pasaway talaga si Kuno. Write it down.
The boots are ceramic. Vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Okay. Write it down.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
Where? Write it down.
Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini.
Write it down.
The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
Write it down.
Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing.
Write it down.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. Wag. Malalagyan ng fingerprint natin eh. Write it down. Short, light brown. Male pattern baldness.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Pasaway kasi si Kuno eh.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In
Kulit.
addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Predation by birds, siguro. I mean, for high velocity. No, wag. Hindi natin pakikinggan siya na pasaway si Kuno eh.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife with the other hand, pulling on the belt. He starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
Steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Bet the chain cutters. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Wala the rubber grip cutters. Seta, number 2.
Always good to think ahead. Now,
He points to the rope, squeezing the dead man's neck.
we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
Pasaway ka talaga, Kuno.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. I'm not your pig, Kuno. Look for a good spot to cut. Physical instrument, medium. Even, taka. Save ko muna. Kung pwede. Ay, hindi. Pwede ba mag-off? Nope, hindi pwede. Look for a good spot to cut. Sige, load ko na lang if ever. Crap. Medium, even naman eh. So, try natin. Ayun,
After
nakuha.
some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
Okay, press down.
Snap. The
Nice.
knot is slashed. Another cut, and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Nice.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
The lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Can you write it down?
Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia.
Pelvis interact with genitalia. He pulls down the man's underpants.
No, it's gonna happen. See.
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the genitalia. No. Write it down and move on. Basta may pinagtitripan.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
Okay, marami siyang marka. Write it down.
Last item, hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. Pick up the hand. Let the lieutenant work alone. Oh, professional tayo ngayon. Tama na yung kalokohan. So, go.
Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle.
Were we expecting any? Write it down. Kalokohan tong ano na yan.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal examination. Tell me something then. Internal exam. description of injuries na muna.
I'm afraid we can't continue before we've gone through both the external and internal examination first.
Okay,
Forward.
sige. Okay, so number 2 na.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
I have nothing. I have anything on this man's central nervous system. Wala.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add, the moral of the story. Nope. Nope. Right, NA. Not applicable.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Crap.
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Ano ba yan? Ang kulit talaga ng mga batang to.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Backhunched, as if in prayer. He begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
Look inside the dead man's mouth. Sige. So, at least to medyo may sense siguro to. Sige.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like throwing up. Straight in that mouth.
Look deeper inside.
It's hard. You taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking.
Ano ba yun? Na-damage tayo sa ano na yan?
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Ang lalim ah.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
He wipes his brow. Hepatobiliary. Hepatobiliary. Ano kaya yan? Something to do with blood something, siguro. Not applicable daw, so. Don't we have anything? Okay, right. Not
Same for
applicable.
toxicology and serology. NA.
Okay, right.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck, visually consistent with the hanging.
Write it down.
Gastrointestinal.
Gastrointestinal, grabe talaga tinitignan niya yung loob. He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground. The pool of feces is there.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. Write it down. Omit the voila. Write it down. Keep voila. Nope.
What's next on the list?
Okay. Number 3 na kagad.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
But number 1, bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Okay, so yun. Tama nga yung hinala ko na inano ng mga ibon.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to be ticked. Opinion, fatal injury, non-fatal, post-mortem. Ah, non-fatal, post-mortem. Kasi nga, ano predation lang yun eh.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
Si Kuno.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Okay, write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes.
Fatal injury, post-mortem.
Right. Next.
Ligature mark. Ligature mark. Finish the autopsy.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Okay, write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Fatal. Fatal injury, yun nga. Yun ang nakapatay sa kanya talaga eh. Eh.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Nakapatay ng skill point. Nice. Pwede ka mag-save. Hindi pa rin. Sa mamaya na yun. Pag naka-exit, sa ako pipili. Something. This is a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. First, how did it go? What now? Conclude. Dapat pala tinanong ko yung isa. First, how did it go? There. Conclude na.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Report a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
Tell me something, dead man. Let's bag him. Take him away. Let the lieutenant take the body away without further examination. Leave muna. Kailangan ko i-save. Save ko lang. Sandali. Save ba o ulitin ko? Sayang yung isang option eh. Sige, wag na. Save na natin. Tuloy na natin to. Okay, teka. Send victim's body to processing. Once you've done with it, send the corpse to processing. Lieutenant Kitsuragi will take care of it. Check twice to see whether you're done with all corpse-related tasks. After you've sent the body away, you can take it back. Okay, so baka meron pa. Pero teka, kuha muna tayo ng isang skill. Saan tayo? Hand-eye coordination. Sagad na ba? Sagad na yata ito eh. Sagad na. Perception. Sagad na rin. Say warfare. Interfacing. Endurance. Pain threshold. Physical instrument. Shivers. Kung sagad natin yung sa ano muna. Iba. Logic or... Say ko yung encyclopedia. Para at least level ano. Isa na rin siya. Okay. Examine ulit natin.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Perception legendary. Low eh, teka. Kailangan ko i-reload. Tapos perception na lang. Sagad na. Oh, hindi na pwede. Oh, never mind. Sige, dito na sa ano ulit. Okay, sige, ito saver fair. Para sagad na to. Accept changes and close. Okay, subukan na lang natin to.
The man is decomposing visibly now. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep
Okay. I need
Ayun,
a little
nakuha.
help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can take care of the rest.
What should I do in the meantime? Ay! Napindot ko kagad yung let's bag him. Crap.
The man is decomposing. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Ito muna.
You run your hands up. The man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's
Pa rin. Kailangan ko makuha yun eh. Sayang yun eh. Baka meron pa eh.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. The man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Perception masyadong baba.
You run your hands over the victim's cold.
Sana eh. Hindi na pwede isagad yung perception.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands.
Gusto ko makakuha yun. Kahit ang tagal nating, kahit mag-reload tayo na mag-reload. Teka, sige. Pause ko muna. Ilalagay ko doon tapos pause ko.
The man is The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Okay, pause ko muna dito guys ha. Para hindi masayang yung oras natin.
Eyes close, as if
Nakuha ko
by
guys.
their
Ito na.
own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Pwede ba mag-save? Hindi pa rin. Crawl up his nostrils. Ayan. Put your fingers in his mouth. Try natin.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
David, this feels right. Open your eyes and look. No, touch something else. Okay, open your eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
Say, fuck yeah. Touch it with your fingers. Gently. Proceed.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Ew.
What the fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
Feel around first. Brainstem. Push deeper. Okay. Feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Push deeper.
Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity. Cut right between the hemispheres. So yeah, ito.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Kuna's voice is hushed.
Quivering with awe. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Punch a hole through his mouth. Ano ba yan? Wriggle in na lang. Ano ba yan?
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right
May
through the
nakuha.
latex and into your finger.
Rigorous self-critique. Halos tapos na, konti na lang. Asan na yung bago? Finger on the eject button. Ayan. Ano? Hindi yan eh. Luma na yan eh. Asan yung bago? Asan yung bago? Ah, ito lang available. Okay, fine. Exercise. Wala eh. So, let's trace your drunken steps. Ano, diyan. Wala akong alam kung ano yung pipiliin doon. Fish it out. Ano yung bago? Di ba pwede i-save ko muna dito sa... Easy naman daw, kaya lang... Ay naman eh, sige. Sige. Easy daw. Let's see. Interfacing. Ay, nakuha, nice.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
I got it. Slowly pull your fingers out. Wag na, wag na yung number 1.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it. Tap it in.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Keep it, Lieutenant, as a gift. Can I have it? Can I have it?
Of course. You deserve it.
Evidence fractured bullet.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth.
Okay, nice.
High velocity, temporary cavity in brain tissue, small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds like heaven. Sounds about right. Say nothing, just nod. Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Wasn't that what we thought the last time? Shake the gloves clean. Agreed, wag na ano. Agreed na kagad.
And one last thing, we should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal, post-mortem, treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Okay. Tama. Okay Kung ano, binaril siya sa bibig tapos kunwari okay The, the ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Okay, tama.
I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did, full-heartedly. Well, no more.
Done. Okay, completed Tuesday. Secret task completed. Find the bullet before you get fooled.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost. There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Maybe they just shot him while they hanged him. Who would do this? Why would anyone do this? I think I need to watch myself. Maybe the bullet holds more answers. Sige, tama.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Maybe they just shot him while they hang. What happens next? Proceed.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone. What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll
Okay.
leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Nice.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
Tell me something, dead man. Let's bag him. Take him away. Take him away. Lieutenant takes the body away. You work alone for the rest of the day. Kaso kailangan mag-usap ng gabi May na kailangan magkita ng gabi so wag na muna. Leave na muna. Kailangan mag-discuss ng yung 9 babalik do sa bahay nung do sa room nung nung nag-Yossi.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die or overcome it.
Bonuses. Int and Psi red check failures. Heal +1 morale. Fails and red checks fail. Heal +1 health. Learning cap for pain threshold raised to 6. Okay. May mga ganyan pala. Okay. So, hanap tayo ng ibang mas maganda rin. Kuha tayo isa. Kuha natin yung Aces High. So, sige. Internalize mo yan. So, teka. Items. Bullet casing.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
What I do with you, bullet? So why? Peel the bullet through the bag. The bullet has nothing more to say. Put it away.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
What do I do with you, bullet? Talagang gagawin pa natin yan, pasaway.
What?
Step closer. I said, what I do with you, bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me.
Good idea. I don't know.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim.
Okay. Find the murder weapon. You need to find the firearm that killed the hanged man. Something tells you it will take some time. You could start by identifying the bullet, so you know the weapon that shot it. After that, keep your eyes open and be patient. Perform a ballistic analysis on the bullet. Paano yan? Dito? Wala. Hindi dito.
In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Sige to. Inspect the bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet close to 5 millimeters in diameter. Well, I actually know this. Tapos ando pa daw sa bangkay ibang parts. So.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
Perform an advanced analysis using H&E coordination.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Sama.
Something tells you that won't be any time soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Low na naman, so teka. Siguro pwede kong mag-quit. Teka. Save ko lang. Okay. Pollution. Kinakunta. Hindi ko pa alam kung alin ang gusto ko. Tawag na lang muna, teka. Save ko lang tapos balik natin yung bullet.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Eye coordination. Teka. Wala. Hand-eye coordination. Saan ba yan? Ay, sagad na eh. Hindi na pwede isag, ano. Hindi na pwede. So,
The bullet
Okay.
is still safely
ano ko
sealed
muna
away
ulit guys.
in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Pause ko lang ulit hanggat sa makuha ko. So, wait lang.
Evolutionary period.
Okay guys.
Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Antique edit. Ano tayo, kailangan bumalik sa pawn shop. So, sige. Make.
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belma-Grave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theatre of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago.
Is anyone still making these rifles? Teka, check mo natin to. Locate a working firearm that shoots 4.46 ammo.
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
Who uses Belma-Grave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for a well-preserved antique, most likely.
Ayan, so doon tayo ulit sa sa pawn shop.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I think I know where this came from. Dangle the bag thoughtfully. Baka.
Okay. And?
The shot probably came from a Bell Magrav rifle. I mean, have some ideas, but I can't be sure. So,
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
Why not? That's probably a good thing.
I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took the advice of criminologists last century and banned the use of breech loaders in peacetime. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
Worth what? Getting shot? I think we should have more powerful guns. We're the law. Makes you consider every shot. I like it. Ah, sige, ito na lang.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Seems we're looking for an antique enthusiast. Could the victim have been mixed up with some foreign guerrilla fighters? Have well-armed jamrock bangers started crossing over into Martinez? Yeah, something mysterious is afoot with this antique bullet type.
Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Okay. Okay, so for now, at least meron tayong mga nakuhang objectives. So, internalization pa. 6% pa lang isang yun. So, end na lang muna natin for now. So, yun nga, punta natin yung yung antique shop. Ano yun? Ang bilis kasi, ang bilis lumabas, di ko kagad na pansin. Save natin to sa ah,
The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage.
wait, why am I even thinking about this? Wasn't I supposed to? No time for this. Gotta run. Finish thought. Doon natin save sa dito sa tapat ni sa loob nitong sa tapat nitong sige. Tapat nitong pawn shop. Dito natin save. Save. Okay, so enter natin for now guys. So, title screen. Auto save na naman pasaway. Get that out of here. I don't like auto saves. Ba't ko ni... no. Main menu. I-delete ko yung auto save. Okay, so end natin for now. So, Seryosohan Veloso signing off guys. Tuloy na lang ulit natin ito next episode.